Oscar, have you ever been trapped in a maze?
Constantly. There is, yeah.
This crazy little thing we call life.
Oh, God. Put that on a mug and sell it. I can tell you right now, the Home Network would love that shit. Put that shit in Target. Life's a goddamn maze. And guess what? I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle.
Life's a fucking puzzle. Am I right?
Life's an incomplete Sudoku. Yeah. Life's a crossword where a couple of the numbers have been and the letters have been taken out.
When Dylan O'Brien was running with Miho through the maze, I was like, oh shit, man, I've been there. I've been there, man. In between jobs? Hells yeah, all right.
My name's Oscar.
My name's Carl. This is Who Would Watch This.
Oh. Welcome to Who Would Watch This, the podcast where we watch a film, chat about the film, and then try and figure out who would watch it.
Today we're talking about the goddamn Maze Runner. That's right, the fucking Maze Runner. It hit Netflix, and it's like #1 this week on Netflix. That's why we're doing the goddamn Maze Runner. We're doing the Maze Runner, Oscar.
Every ad is like, listen, have you not seen the Maze Runner from 10 years ago? Guess what? It's on Netflix. Go check it out.
The internet's just like, have you ever heard of the fucking Maze Runner? It's a cult hit now.
And everyone at the same time went,
That's right.
Okay.
Not us, though.
Not us.
We're hyped on the Maze Runner. It currently has a 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.3 on Letterboxd, and a 6.8 on IMDb. Oscar, what's the plot?
Thomas is deposited in a community of boys after his memories erased, soon learning they'll all be trapped in a maze that will require him to join forces with fellow runners for a shot of escape.
Man, Thomas is deposited into a community of boys is a very porno-esque setup, isn't it?
I'll be honest, this film is doing leaps and bounds to make you kind of forget that, hey, this is a bit Lord of the Flies.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a G-rated Lord of the Flies.
They want you to know that nobody's ever been horny.
There's not a single penis here. That's a fun way to start. But
yeah,
until we start.
No, you've crossed the line. That's on you.
Carl, last week, should we go back before we indicted ourselves?
Before we lived the goddamn maze? Yeah, let's go back to last week. I don't even know what type of man I was. No, but let's go back in time to before we'd seen the movie and tried to figure out who we thought would watch it. I guess we can keep the National Treasure 2 vibes going with another puzzle film.
Yes.
Maze Runner.
I feel like we used to do a bit more month to month. We had a bit more of a theme. This theme is puzzles. Next week we'll have the Tetris movie.
We should do Pixels.
Oh, we should do Pixels. That's painful.
Although we have a blanket no comedy rule.
Yeah, but don't worry. There's no jokes in that one.
There's no jokes in that one. Just somebody fucks Cubit.
Yeah.
Damn.
Hard. Right in the goddamn snout. Carl, before we get into that, Maze Runner, huh? You seen it?
Yeah, I have. I've seen this movie maybe 2 or 3 times.
Nice.
In cinemas. Saw it.
Whoa, you saw it in cinemas 2 to 3 times? Or
no, I saw it for the first time in cinemas. I saw it the second time. I went to the premiere of the second one.
Wow. The Scorch Trials?
Yeah, I saw the Scorch Trials at the goddamn Sydney premiere.
So you've lived.
I've lived. And my roommate I was taking was like going, and he was like, nah, I haven't seen any of them. I was like, I guess we'll rewatch it. And then once when I was working on a show, and I was stuck in Goulburn, and you know when you're just lonely.
Oh yeah. Well, the Maze Runner normally finds you. That's the kind of beauty of it. The book, the movie, Dylan O'Brien. He's just like, oh, you bit down.
It feeds on your depression.
Yeah, exactly.
It knows how to get you. No, I caught the last maybe hour and a half to the full length of it on TV, and man, everybody in Goulburn was just fucking raving about it the next day. Everyone had logged into Prime, being like, holy shit, you see the Maze Runner? Yeah, I gotta tell you, I don't know if I enjoyed it any of the times I saw it. Yeah.
It seems like the vibe of it. I feel like I've read the bit of this book. I can't remember what
huge.
I can't remember what I got up to. I feel like I remember there's a bunch of boys and they're in a maze. Not a maze, but a little grass area. I mean, I think I got up to the bit where there's a girl. I have not seen the movie. I'll be honest, I kind of thought Divergent.
You nailed that. Detergent is a great gag. That's huge.
I'm gonna get Shailene Woodley on the phone and just absolutely rip into her.
My God.
Okay, and then she'll hit back with the "Us and Pretty Little Liars." How about that, huh? And egg in my mouth. Okay.
Yeah. And you were like, yeah, but who's actually seen you? You can be like, you got cut from the Amazing Spider-Man 2: Rise of Electro.
Really? What was she meant to be?
Mary Jane.
Oh, okay.
She was just bolts of lightning.
She would nail that.
Shailene.
I have got these two confused. I feel like, is there a third one in the ether? I feel like these all
like
mix
the host,
I feel
or
like the
like
host
there
might
was
be
just a bunch of YA
yes.
stuff. I think the other two sequels are worse reviewed than this one.
Yes.
This definitely came across as we need to do a YA film because our studio doesn't have one.
Yes. Which studio is this?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Fox? I think it's Fox. I think they needed to do... Because I know for a fact these books are trash.
Whoa.
I don't think anyone particularly likes these books, and I think they're meant to be pretty poorly written. Because I know that at like the top of your YA adaptations, you've got Harry Potter and the Hunger Games.
You got the creme de la creme.
Yeah, they're sort of your creme de la creme, right? That are actually fairly well written.
And then you got some like some low level creme, you know, a bit sort of some pails of cream.
Ooh,
and let me tell you, they're stanky.
Absolutely, this is off fucking milk.
I'm talking, you can't even mix this into a butter. Okay,
because I think this movie not only strongly diverges from the book, but as the series goes on, takes less and less from the books.
I wish in Divergent they diverge from the books, huh? That'd be a fun little tagline.
I wish in Detergent they fucking washed their hands of those books. Huh? Is that what we're saying?
Who is this for, Carl? Who would be watching this movie?
I think this is going to be for people that liked The Hunger Games and Divergent.
Yeah.
And I think potentially...
And got tricked.
I think potentially also this was their angle of being like... I feel like guys were into the Hunger Games because there was like a violent aspect to them. And
but there was the girl element, and I couldn't relate. I could not relate.
Who could relate to Katniss?
Yeah.
A little sister? A mum?
Some sort of Rue? I couldn't believe it. No, not
but
for
when
me.
Peter was on screen, I was like, oh yeah, I know what it's like to be a baker.
Oh yeah, we've all painted our faces. You know what? I'm starting to love Peter. He's kind of the coolest. Anyway, when Dylan O'Brien shows up...
I'm more of a Gale. Big, strong Australian I am.
Yeah, no, I think...
This is for boys. This is YA for boys.
It's like a studio mandate. Just like, listen, they won't like Katniss. She's a strong woman. Yeah.
This is the studio head, like, literally ringing up, I guess, a speaker that's in every office at the studio being like, Hunger Games just opened to like $140 million. Somebody find a fucking book with a male lead and let's get it pumped out before the end of the summer. You heard, and hung up.
And the boys flocked.
Yeah, there you go. Who do you think it's going to be for?
I guess it seems like you had, like, I don't know, your fourth favorite YA novel was this one. It's a weird person. I feel like it's less of a, oh, this is my favorite one, just more just I need more. You know, this is kind of you stuffing your face. You know, you've had dessert. You know, that was Harry Potter and your Hunger Games, and now you're kind of, you know, you're eating the M&Ms on the way home from the dinner, and it's not good. It's not good.
You've like stopped at McDonald's because you weren't filled by your cuisine.
But as you get the Maccas, like it kind of hits you.
Yeah, you hit you and you're like, oh, I am full.
I ordered a lot of nuggets, and you're sort of just eating them, and you also got yourself an ice cream, and that's kind of where.
And you're just like, neither of these will keep.
No.
So you better consume them.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're surprised at how much the Macca's was. You're kind of like,
yeah. You're a bit. You're like, fuck. I actually
$20. Wow.
Twice my meal for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Gone. I think you're right. That's such a good way of explaining this movie. That's definitely the ick I got after watching it the second time.
Carl, the Maze Runner.
What a cast!
What a cast! What's okay? I mean, before we get into the actual film, let's talk about... should we just burn through the positives real quickly?
So, yeah, absolutely.
And I think what's going to define who would watch us at the end. Okay, first off, how the fuck does this cost $30 million?
Oh my god, right. Isn't this this is such a feat of filmmaking on that budget.
Yes.
I think every movie should have done exactly what this fucking movie did.
We say that, however, you sort of look at behind the scenes, and it's just like a lot of people have sort of not really done much. You know, the director's fresh. It's a great cast, as you said. Like, they got everyone on the rise.
They are so lucky. Like, I'd forgotten this cast. When I was watching it, I was like, Dylan O'Brien, Thomas Sanger Brody, or Brody
Will
Thomas
Poulter,
Sanger. Will Poulter. I know the actor that plays Mino was on, like, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt and some other stuff. He's had a bit of a glow up. And who's the actress as well from Skins?
Effie.
Yeah.
Kaylee. can never remember her
Yeah,
last name.
neither. She was in The King's Daughter, which we
Yes.
just dragged to shit.
She's had like a lot of big. She was in the
Pirates.
yeah.
She has not picked good films. That
No.
poor actress.
No, she's great though. But
She
just,
is good.
yeah.
I quite like her. This movie gives her nothing to do. This
Oh,
movie gives
this
none
film-
of these great
this
actors
film
anything
gives
to do.
Nothing,
Yeah.
and that's where I'll be honest. The praise ends. It looks great for what it
Yep.
cost. Who would watch this? I guess if you want to make money, you want to make money in Hollywood. How to make 12 times your budget back?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Do you think this movie is so cheap because they got such up and coming people involved that they still had student film mentality?
It feels that. I mean, I was looking at like sort of the cast and like all the sort of background people, and they hadn't done much. It
'Cause
feels
it's
like
pretty-
it feels like they went, get me people who are green and just kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And normally that would lead to like, I don't know, like The Godfather or something. But this one just was just like, it's competent enough, and it's the bones of a film.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
This is to me more like cohesive than Divergent. So and
I've only watched the last one.
what was
Part
Allegiant?
1 Allegiance, I
Oh
think.
yeah, it was a part one, wasn't it? Coherence.
It probably was.
Damn.
Coherent.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is like things are clicking more here.
No. Things are clicking, but more in the sense of like there is a thing, and we're doing a thing, and we're doing a thing, and now we're doing a thing, and you can be like, oh, that's a narrative. But then when you kind of look at it more, it's a very hollow shell of everything.
Oh, absolutely. It's a movie that has borrowed everything. And I don't mean that in a slight against the screenwriter or the director. I'm saying that against the material. So I think those praises, good cast, good filmmaking,
Yeah.
good for them on the budget.
Good on this director. He's directed the new Apes film. you
Yeah,
know?
shot here in Australia.
Huge.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to detract from that because I feel like it seems like it was a miracle this got made.
Yeah.
But let's jump into it.
Yeah,
huh?
we can. I don't know if we'll end up doing any of the other ones, but I think the fact that this poor director put up with making this entire trilogy, give him an Oscar. Give him an Oscar for output. There should be an Oscar for output.
It's a shame the Razzies like kind of shit on film. I think there should be a wow, good on you, huh? Ridiculous they made you do that.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's how you made your paycheck? Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be like the Studio Abuse Award. That's like you suffered and you got through it, and
It wasn't dreadful. It wasn't
should
dreadful.
come with like 3 years of like free therapy. Like there you go, Wesball.
Carl, let's jump into the Maze Runner, huh?
Wicked is good.
Yes.
Why the hell is this company called Wicked?
Oh,
That's the laziest thing I've ever heard.
It is like the umbrella company for like, I don't know, the Resident Evils, which is sort of, I don't know, not evil, but a bit like, we spread our things. This one's just like, we could just call this the bad company, you know? Why even bother?
You know you can never
WCKD.
trust them. It was also so funny because basically Dylan O'Brien's like shooting up in an elevator,
Yes.
right? I don't know why there's an oil can with Wicked on it. Like, I don't know why Wicked's in the oil business
I
as
don't
well.
know why the evil again, I haven't seen the second, third. I don't know what the world ends up being to, but we assume this is the evil background people.
Well, they're called Wicked.
Why would they show people that this is their company? Why have this barrel?
I
Because
think
this is the only thing they learn.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But I think in this world, the word Wicked doesn't exist.
Oh, gotcha. The big musical hasn't hit.
The musical hasn't hit.
Oh, shit,
There's
okay.
no such thing as a witch.
So Elphaba's never flown off our handle.
She is never thrown off the handle.
Well, it's not very magical world, is it? This maze running adventure, it's not very magical.
Nobody's had a fine day in the Emerald City.
Here's the thing, though. Wizard of Oz is still a thing, which is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It was simply just called Witch of the West.
Yeah.
I don't think because you would say you're a boy
Yeah.
and you're stuck in the middle of a maze.
Oh, yeah.
And the branding everywhere is the word wicked.
Mm.
You'd just be like, okay, I'm being punished and somebody's behind this.
That's my thing about the whole fucking film. Constantly, it's like, hey, here's the big reveal. They're pretty evil. I'm like, we figured that out 40 minutes ago. Seconds in. I got the vibe immediately.
Yeah.
This is crazy, right? So anyway, Dylan O'Brien comes into the middle of this maze. Big grassy area.
Do you reckon potentially all of the boys were like, yeah, it's from the WCKD company, and at the end though, she was just like, Wicked. And they were all like, oh, I hear it now.
Oh God!
it was
oh
there.
God! We should have learned to read. We should have
thought
learned
it
to
was
read.
an anagram.
Let's get into it. Okay, Dylan O'Brien wakes up. He's now surrounded by boys. We've got the first thing that the book takes, Lord of the Flies. We're just taking that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bunch of boys, ragtag, they're stuck in the middle of the maze. Oh, shit. Carl, we've got some questions, Who's Dylan? Why is he here? Who are the boys?
He doesn't know his name.
He doesn't know his name.
Why is Will Poulter being mean?
Do you feel like what this is written as a book? You're like, oh, that's the bully in the book. And I don't think the film really... Will Poulter's a great actor. I think he's doing very good here. Good for what he can do.
This is I think before Will Poulter was really going to take off. And so it's that transition period from child star to what you do between 19 and 25. And I assume his agent was just you just got to get it. Fucking get into shit.
Yeah. Start racking. Just real go.
And then Ari Aster was like... yoink, and everybody went, holy shit, am I attracted to Will Poulter now? And then he's ridden those coattails to the top.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, Ari Aster must have been like, you are a bad boy. And he's like, I saw The Maze Runner. I know my stuff. Ari Aster watches a lot of YA stuff and just picks it. Joaquin was in Hunger Games, He was the beau.
As was Toni Collette.
Okay, so we get introduced to some characters after he's woken up. We get introduced to, as you say, Will Poulter. He's the bully of the group.
Yeah.
We've got,
we got Newt, played by Thomas Brady Sangster.
Yeah.
Again, I'm saying his 3-word name may be out of order and maybe incorrectly, but I will not look it up.
Thomas Brody, I'm pretty sure.
Shall we call him SBG?
Let's call him Newt, okay?
Let's call him Newt. Newt rocks up.
Yeah.
I think Dylan O'Brien should be really confused about why there's a single British man here. He's the only one. He's the only one British.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't know what the background of the world is. I assume they grab people from everywhere.
If they can't remember anything, I'm surprised he wasn't just why are you different?
I'm going to say
why your words diff my words?
Do you know what the second and third one is? I don't know what this leads up
to.
Oh,
I've seen all of them.
Okay, crazy.
I saw this. I saw the second one. I've seen them all. I've lived them.
I'm just empty. I don't know where this is going. And I'm pretty ridiculous. I'm actually pretty pissed off.
It goes to places, and boy, are the answers not enjoyable. The second one ends like this. You learn less in the second one, and they're like, you want more? A helicopter again is you're done with the Scorch trials. Yeah, it is. It's constantly just oh my God.
There's more layers. Anyway, we also get introduced to a fat kid. I can't remember what his name is.
His name's Chuck. And I'm going to say it right now. I hate Chuck.
Glad we're on the same page about hating Chuck.
Chuck sucks.
I will say this, though. Chuck gives us such an introduction. He goes, hey, I shat myself 3 times before when I woke up here. Dylan O'Brien runs away. He gets the vibe, this kid's the loser. He assesses the...
He goes, I'm at the low pecking order. I'm going to have to run into that maze to win this tribe.
100%. He's looked around and gone, okay, I'm assessing he's forgotten his name, but socially, he's like, all right, you're a loser. Will Poulter's cool. I gotta flip the switch. Absolutely. He immediately ditches.
He goes right up to Will Poulter and is just, I'll suck your cock, man.
Just not with Chuck, man. I do not want to be left with Chuck.
Do not leave me near a hammock with Chuck. He stinks.
Most of Chuck's interactions are either him just popping into frame, or when Dylan O'Brien's stuck in a little cage, you can't escape Chuck. Chuck is everywhere. You can't leave him. It's just a painful thing.
They say the Growlers or whatever, the Grievers in the maze are the villains. It's Chuck, man.
It's Chuck.
They don't realize they've got one in there with him.
Ugh.
I'll tell you what, Chuck's character is a mooch if ever I saw one. A fucking mooch.
We also get introduced to Albie, who's sort of our wise messiah.
Oh, God.
And the film goes, didn't we earn that sort of role as his, the caretaker? No. They spent a lot more time on Chuck.
You didn't shed a tear when Albie was killed by a griever after being stung and out of the movie 30 minutes prior? Did you not grieve?
I did grieve. The absinthe makes the heart, grow fonder. I saw Albie, I don't know, 3 times. It's been 4 days as well. We should say that. That's the whole thing of the Maze Runner. He we'll get back to Chuck anyway.
Anyway, Chuck's I think Chuck is told to not let Dylan know yet that there's a maze. And he accidentally says it. And it makes Dylan want to go into the maze, which is hilarious. Because it's so funny to see someone just be like, a maze? And just curiously start being like, eh?
Here's the thing. Even though it's a death maze, a maze is... Who among us, really... has not been curious by a maze. If I'm anywhere I'm at, if there's a maze, I'm going to have a little peek, okay? Yeah. That's not crazy.
I'm going to throw it right now. I think the title The Maze Runner is a cool title.
Okay.
That's it. I think this has sold itself on a title alone.
That's the thing. And I'll be honest, the actual concept of themselves as maze runners, every time they slightly jog out the maze, lame as hell.
Oh, you can tell. I think
They're so
all
smug,
the,
these little
no,
maze
I
runners.
think all the acting's good, except for when we're meant to believe they've just run. Sometimes they're running, and the running's great. But whenever it's clearly been like 11 shooting days since they did the running scene, and they've just got to like run into the next
Back
scene
in the
and be like,
frame, I'm back. Whew.
those people aren't tuckered.
I will say,
they're
actually,
not tuckered, Oscar.
I will say, although you said the Maze Runner is a cool title, I want to say, like, as all the YA novels, like, you got, like, I don't know, Hunger Games, like, Tribute, like, a wizard, you know, they all have, like, their special powers, like, the Divergent person's, like, I don't know, the Avatar for elements, I can't remember what her thing is. The fact that Maze Runner, they're, like, the whole thing around the novel is just they run in the maze. They kind of just scouts. Pretty lame.
Crazy too, because they lose what's interesting about them immediately.
Yeah.
Because the books never go back to a maze.
No. If anything, really, the skills...
It should be called like the Scorch Runner.
But then you'd lose the Maze
They should
Runner
just
already.
keep the runner bit. Oh, the Scorch Runner as the title sucks.
Oh, it's
Hate
gross.
it.
It's
The
a
Maze
hot
Runner
runner.
though, greenlight it. Give it 30 million.
Get a green director and make him work for it.
Absolutely. Get that boy off Teen Wolf, all the fan fiction's about. The Smarts! So we meet Newt. Newt has secured some alcohol. I gotta tell you, the alcohol here looks like piss.
Yeah.
Looks straight up like
It's
piss.
toilet. It's toilet punch, you know?
I reckon it's just piss, and
Yeah.
they've been told, hey, this gets you drunk. It doesn't. It's
They have
just
no
piss.
concept. They have no memory of being drunk. You're probably right. It's
Yeah.
just all piss, and they made Chuck drink a lot of it.
Oh my god, drunk. Sorry, Chuck is soaking in it. You can smell it off the screen. I don't want to keep picking on Chuck, but I will.
I do.
I
I
hate
do.
Chuck.
Yeah, not
Chuck.
a big fan of Chuck.
Chuck is a bad seed, ruining this poor camp for everybody.
Dylan takes this all pretty well, I think. We're kind of met around the camp. Not much happens.
When you don't know, like, because he hasn't got memories and you don't know any different, I don't know. I guess it's just
It's
you're
kind
there.
of fun.
Like, it's one of those things where you wake up and you're like, I don't remember who I am, and I guess this is the situation I'm in now, and that's that.
Yeah.
I understand why everybody's like, we will just live in harmony here. That's it for us.
Yeah.
Totally fine. I'm like, yeah, I'd set up shop. I'd probably have 4 or 5 good years, then kill myself.
Oh yeah, I think so. It's the 5-year
Yeah.
mark. You'd sort of, it's like 7 years itch, but like the 5-year maze.
Absolutely.
itch.
The 5-year maze
yeah.
is 100%.
You're drinking piss 3 years in. You go. "Nah, maybe
I
this
do
isn't for
love
me."
Dylan's like, have you tried doing this? You tried doing that? And everyone's been like, I've lived here my entire life. We've tried it all. We've tried so many
I
things.
gotta tell you, I think they're like, have you ever climbed the wall? They give an excuse that I don't think they climbed the wall. I think a big ladder would have solved this whole thing.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
I think maybe if they'd fashioned a blimp, that could probably have worked.
Yeah.
Maybe even if potentially they'd circumnavigated the globe in 80 days, I think that would have been a way to get it.
I think so.
I reckon they should have been left a single Jules Verne novel.
Oh.
Do you reckon that would be great? That could be
I
their
can't-
Bible.
I don't read, so I don't know what that is. So what is that?
It's a Steve Coogan film.
not a book. Not a book.
Jules who?
So you've seen the new ones. My concept is they're trying to keep them in this maze, right?
No.
No?
No.
It's just kind of them.
They're the cure.
Oh man, I don't even know what that means. So don't even try that.
Get the fucking cure.
My
man.
concept is that they want to keep them in the maze because of something.
No, they want them out.
They want them out, and a big ladder didn't help. And what is this?
It's crazy as well because getting out of the maze, not easy. Like, it's not like they actually have to get out of a maze. They have to go to where the grievers are, find a door, hope that they've figured out the entire sequence of the entire
Yes.
maze changing, get through that.
Let's
the exit?
let's talk about Dylan. Okay, so anyway, there's a guy in the Ben. He gets bitten by the grievers, goes a bit crazy. Now what's it called? Dylan's like, I want to go in that maze. I want to go in that maze so bad.
Dylan's so goddamn attracted to the maze.
Yeah.
And fair. Again, I'll tell you what, whenever I'm bored as hell in a field, you know exactly what I want to be doing? Sudokus and mazes.
Oh,
So I understand. He's like...
he's been there, what, a day? He's like, it's either this or piss or the maze.
Yeah.
And I'm going in the maze.
Chuck just recounted The Dark Knight Rises to me for the 3rd time today. I've got to get out of here. I do really enjoy this scene where Albie takes Dylan over to a wall and is like, put your name up. These are all the names of anyone who was ever here. And when they die, we just cross them out. And I was like, God, you couldn't just do a memorial wall? It's so insensitive to be like, that one's dead.
We show him chiseling it away. It's like,
you almost erase the name. It's like you're getting rid of their existence. It's
more of
harsh.
a roll call, really. It's not really more of a, it's not a memorial. If anything, it's really spitting on the graves.
It's a death wall.
Yeah.
It's a wall of death.
It's a pre-death wall.
It's
a pre-death wall.
You hate to see it.
And the first thing goes, carve your name up there. You're gonna die.
Oh yeah. So they lose one of the runners who gets sick.
Yep.
Albie decides to head in with Mino to figure out why this person got stung in the middle of the day, because usually grievers aren't out and about.
Yeah.
Albie gets stung.
Yes.
And Mino is there with him.
Yep.
And the walls are closing, and Dylan decides to run in.
Yes.
I really enjoy all the claustrophobic stuff in the movie.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's good. It's weird that in a maze, most of it's just closing doors.
Yeah.
I guess you're not really using the maze that well.
I think anytime they're running or just trying to get through something that is shutting on them, I think it's actually directed well.
Yeah. Okay. What a...
It is. For a movie that is nonsense, and I don't care about any of the characters, the camera work and direction's getting me mildly excited about some sequences.
I'll give you that.
That's what I'm saying is...
They've nailed the running. They've nailed the maze and the running, actually, to be perfectly honest. Do we like this maze?
No.
Do you not like
Why would we fucking like this maze?
I mean,
it's dangerous. It's trying to kill our beautiful Dylan.
Dylan is goddamn gorgeous. Don't we love him so much?
Take Chuck.
We're in the maze now. I don't know, 40 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
We get introduced to the growlers. The growlers?
I have no idea. Are they either grievers, growlers, ghouls, ghosts?
I'll take gumps.
Yeah, or gumps, or gimps.
Oh, clever.
What do you think of their design?
Again, $30 million. I'll take it.
Absolutely.
It's very generic, isn't it? Just sort of a spider thing.
I enjoy that it's a monster paired with mechanics.
Yes.
I like that it's not one or the... I think just them being like, it's a blob, but it is built.
Yes.
So I just find that bizarre because when you find out at the end of the movie that these monsters have nothing to do with anything that's occurring, you go, so did you make them? Or are they around?
That's my thing. I'm now thinking Wicked has made these people, the metal shaft.
I just heard it. Wicked.
They're evil. I was surprised too. I couldn't believe it.
It's shocking.
We get like a big chase sequence. We kind of learn, Dylan's pretty good at this maze running.
Dylan's agile.
Yeah.
Dylan's agile as hell. When people were getting stung, because you'd never seen it before, did you think they'd be monsters or just giant bees?
What do you mean?
Well, because we don't find out about what these monsters look like for a long time, but you find out they do sting people. Were you thinking giant bees?
I did think that the grievers were about, 170 bees in the form of a big, thumbtack. And they'd sort of fly around the maze and stinging people. That's what my image was. I was a bit upset when it was a weird spider thing.
I think a comedically large bumblebee, fatter the better, furry as hell, peeny little wings, would be intimidating in that maze.
Oh, yeah, it kind of hovering, the weight to
just
itself.
A lot of... knowing there's a queen about.
Oh, God. Huh? I'm actually getting chills right now.
Knowing that there's a hive to be had.
A hive in a maze? Oh,
my God. Could you imagine if it was just about these boys trying to get honey? How good would that be?
Chuck Pooh Bear in here. Get rid of that fucking fat guy. And guess what? We got Pooh Bear up here, and he's got the maze sorted.
Chuck, pantsless, eating honey.
Chuck is wearing a little red singlet, and it's slutty as hell, and he's got his hand in a big pot of honey. That's right, spelled Hunny.
It is crazy that the movie, and I assume the book, completely shies away from any sort of sexuality. So crazy there's no queer representation here.
I guess they're all asexual because every single other narrative that has a bunch of boys young stranded alone with no, parental authority figure normally ends a bit different. So I guess they're all asexual and cool with it, So
absolutely. When the woman rocks up, they're like,
"Hey,
and we will leave her be."
She threw some rocks at us, and we're all gonna. Yep, no, we're not going to. Okay, no.
Yeah, I think that there is, especially when Albie talks about the dark days when they were trying to figure out rules and stuff, and they murdered one another, and things got really bad.
Yeah.
and he essentially just pitches to you a much better and more interesting
It's
film.
upsetting, isn't it? We just pitched Lord of the Flies.
Oh,
and you just go, I would rather watch that.
Sci-fi Lord of the Flies, sick. Give it to me.
Yeah,
Give it to me.
Lord of the Flies, get this maze around it. Okay? And they're trying to figure it out, the maze.
The Fly Runner. Lord of the Maze.
Oh my god.
I'd watch Lord of the Maze in a heartbeat.
Lord of the Maze in a heartbeat.
I reckon if you told a Fox executive we're going to be making a thing called the Lord of the Maze, he'd be like 150 million to you. Make it our Joker. I also can't believe this. Albie's the original boy.
Yes. He's the OG boy.
He's the
it
OG boy.
He's the it boy.
Yeah, Albie's the original boy.
Yeah.
Crazy he was in charge.
It's just weird that he was there for a month. I feel like it's slow dripped. How long has he been here?
How did he not die?
I don't know. I guess
he was alone for a month. He would have absolutely entered that maze and died.
Yeah, well, you have to think about that barrel that's labeled wicked because it might have some bread snacks in it.
He must just be like, I'll stay near the barrel. Imagine being the second boy coming up and Albie's just like, I've worked out two things. I've been here a month. You're here now. The barrel.
The barrel's kind of it.
The barrel's fucking God.
It's God. It's God.
God. I'm Jesus. Don't be Judas, man.
I swear to God.
Don't do it.
Hey.
Albie kills him immediately. Oh no.
Oh no, I was Pontius Pilate.
It was me. Where do I stash the body? The barrel.
This happens for about 7 to 6 years until finally Albie's like, all right, maybe the barrel's cool.
Do you reckon all the scientists watching being like, Albie's killed every boy and kept the barrel alive? Do we think he's the cure?
You keep saying the cure. I assume it's a Big Brother experiment and they're just trying to figure out if boys will be boys, you know? That's my thing.
They're the cure, Oscar.
I don't want to know.
They are the cure.
Cured meats? I'm not.
Maybe.
I'm not
How do
biting.
we think they do we think cannibalism occurred here?
Oh, Albie's got a nibble, okay?
Absolutely.
Albie definitely nibbled. And
That's
quite
the
frankly, when
thing.
Chuck rocked up, he's like, man, you tempted me there. God, I want to take a little nibble
I'm
at your
going
face.
to tell you right now, Dylan rocks up, you go roasting you over an open fire, not having it. But imagining Chuck with a little apple in his mouth, rotating over a fire, that boy's got crackling.
Yeah, so Effie from Skin rocks up. Her name's Natasha or something like that. It doesn't
Natasha
matter.
or Nintendo or something.
It doesn't
She's
matter.
got like 11 lines and then the movie ends. You think she's going to be a main player. It's interesting that they
Is the film setting up just hey, it's a meet cute. They're boys and girls. They're gonna make up. Is that what this is?
One of the most interesting things about this trilogy is his relationship to her.
Yeah, gotcha.
Absolutely goes in no way I think it is going to go. And I always thought that was very interesting, and that's a compliment I can give the trilogy.
Okay, so this is a positive.
This is that I was like, what is decided to be done between the boy and the girl here, I don't know if this is from the books or the movie decided to do it, is just really odd and a little bit dark that I will give it props.
Okay.
If my memory serves.
Gotcha.
Again, I've seen this one thrice and I've seen the other ones once.
Here's my thing. At the moment, it's nothing. They're given nothing.
Yeah.
She might as well not rocked up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is crazy how few boys there are, I think.
What do you mean? Oh, well,
It feels like there's about 20 boys.
There's about 20. At one point, I think a good 40 of them die. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that. At the moment, there's about 20 boys.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at that wall and a lot of crosses out, huh?
Thomas also kills one of the monsters.
Yes.
And Will Poulter's unhappy about this.
Yes.
Do we agree with him?
Listen, okay. I think it's the movie's fault. I do believe with him. However, for this one, his whole argument is, how dare you kill him? We don't know what they're going to do. All they've been doing is killing them. So I think it's fine. However, I do kind of agree with Will Poulter that everything wrong has happened because of Dylan.
I agree. I'm like, it's one of those things where
It's
like,
been 3
I actually
days.
think he could.
A lot of
Things
shit's
have
happened.
fallen to shit.
Yeah.
Albie's nearly dead. You've lost a runner. There's a woman here now. They're not doing any more elevator shit. Like
The barrel's gone.
and
And Chuck's still here. Okay, so things are getting pretty dire. Things are pretty
they're
fucking
just being
garbage.
like, take Chuck, take him. One of my favorite things that happens in this movie is Chuck just being like, I made this for my parents. I don't remember them, but I'm going to give it to them.
Yeah.
And then there's a beat and he goes, I think I'm probably going to die. You find my parents. I don't know.
I gotta tell you,
and you give them this.
This was by far this film is going. we're an hour in. Do you want to care about Chuck? I went, don't you fucking dare.
They have a correspondence about this thing for ages, and it's really about nothing.
Yeah.
His parents don't exist, and I'm going to tell you right now, he never finds them.
What do you mean this little gross carved doll doesn't have a payoff?
Yeah.
Ah, nuts.
It is really weird because if you watch the rest of these movies, you go, they were safer in the maze?
Gotcha.
Like a better life was lived in the maze.
Well, that's the thing. Will Poulter's whole kind of, I guess the whole thing of this world is Will Poulter's like, we're the blue pill. We should stay in the maze and be safe. Like it's captive freedom. We have this. And we go out there, we're gonna lose it. In every other film that tries to do this, like the red pill's always the better option. This film does not. I'm completely on Will's side. The maze was safe. It worked. It worked.
He's right to want to sacrifice Dylan O'Brien.
I think he's right to do it.
So right to do it.
Yeah.
Will Poulter also has this magical power that if he ever hits Dylan O'Brien remembers something.
Yes.
It's a great power to have. They should call it Memory Punch.
It's a Will Puncher.
Hey, all right, this guy's cooking.
Yeah,
Keep
we're a bit
going.
fun. We're a bit
All
fun.
right,
Okay,
nice.
okay,
Yeah, cool.
okay,
And
okay.
what else we got?
Well, we got Miho, and he has a little model. Isn't this cute?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
Mino's the best fucking character.
He's nice, isn't he?
He's great as hell.
Yeah.
He's kind.
He's run into the film like, hey, here's some running
dude.
stuff, two things, and look at my little model I made.
Oh my god,
this
his
model's adorable.
He's living the maze life, right?
Yeah.
You know, he's out there solving puzzles on the daily. He's making little models and stuff. He's essentially full dad mode at the age of 16.
Oh, and don't you love it? Like some of the younger kids kind of come into his office, and he's like, "Get out! This is my model room. Scat out of here! This is a very important job. Now come over here, Dylan. Do you like the detail I did on the maze on the left here? We learn, I don't know, I guess they're doing the Hunger Games too, like how the whole maze is like numbered and like each one opens at like a certain day. I couldn't care less. It's crazy that this ends up being the code for the door.
Yeah.
I guess.
How would you know where the code started?
Well, that's the thing, exactly. I mean, if you're going
You'd have to try it all. You'd
be
know
like-
the sequence, but you wouldn't know where the code started.
That's so true. You have 8 different combinations. And also, let's face it, they seem like they've forgotten about clocks. So they're not going to be like, oh, clockwise. And what even is north in this world? They don't have a compass. Okay, they can't magnetize things.
North would be where your magnet goes.
Okay, well, they don't have that.
They
so
do. It was in the barrel.
Oh, fuck,
The mighty barrel. You forget about the barrel.
That's how you got all the nice little bits of glue and bits of grass. Whereas it's a lot of modeling kits. It's mainly food, modeling kits, and compasses and magnets.
So good. You
And-
can just tell.
And Chuck's dead body in there as well. And like 48 of them dead from the first one.
I would have loved the reveal that the maker of the experiment was just Chuck's mum.
What? Okay, I know you have the secrets, but for my own safety, you have I don't know, the cure, whatever that is.
No, they're the
I'm
cure.
gonna kill myself. What? I don't get if they're okay. In my brain, they're like, oh, we're training them up so if they can beat the maze, that means that they're the best, and they're pissed that more people got out. Anyway. It's a weird trial, okay? It's a weird test, and it seems like an absolute nightmare of production to do
No,
this.
the next one's a trial.
Oh, gotcha.
This one's a maze.
Well, you got me there. So far, I'm actually...
Then the third one, a cure. They are the cure.
Yeah, pretty much they're doing like the Lord of the Flies thing. Will's being like, put him in jail. He's done.
You know, I do appreciate how much killing there is in the movie.
I was going to say I really like that it gets away with a lot. I guess it's like a PGM. I feel like it's quite fearful. I was enjoying the fact that... Are we up to the nighttime scene with the
Yeah,
crowd
let's
or
just
something?
talk about the nighttime scene when
Yeah.
they get attacked. It sort of just decides to shoot itself like a horror movie.
Yes.
I think this is a great little
It's
sequence.
interesting camera. It's like a bit
Yeah.
shaky. It's just interesting. And
They've done the special effects correctly. They use some really cool dim lighting.
Yeah.
I think it was funny because when I was watching this sequence, because of the trailer for the new Planet of the Apes movie, which is set closer to the original Charlton Heston one.
Yeah.
So the apes are hunting humans now. This scene in like the tall grass really reminded me of the apes hunting humans and some of the other stuff. And I was like, oh, I can see why this guy is suited for that material. In my opinion, I was like, I think
it's all serviceable.
Yeah.
And I think whenever he like this scene, great. Like
Yeah.
it is that. I just think everyone's been. It's crazy. It made money.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no passion there.
Well,
but it's
I
fine.
think
As dread, there's nothing to be written here. It's so hard.
Well, I think bringing up the fact that so many people die throughout the movie, which I think is great. these people would be so close with one another, in my opinion, because they're all stuck
Yes.
in here.
The film does not.
Nobody
no one gives a
mourns.
shit. Well, I mean,
Albie's been there since the beginning. He is their leader, and nobody mourns Albie.
you know what the worst? I mean, we'll get into the Chuck mourning, but that is anyway.
Chuck of it all.
But like
You heard about
normally,
Chuck?
normally in a film, you know that sort of cliche, like if you're a named character, you're gonna survive.
Yeah.
This one does to the nth degree. If you've even had a word, you're fine. You're good.
Yeah.
They absolutely slaughter like 20 random people we've never met.
Yeah, consistently. They're happy to kill.
And dare I say, Dylan's happy to sacrifice a lot of these guys. They're like pushes a bunch of them into the growler's sight.
Honestly, it's so good when you see who the lineup is of who survived, and you go, "Oh, look at that fodder! Oh, so many of you are gonna die, aren't they?"
Dylan's like, "Hey, is that random 20 group of people still around? Cool, we're going to go into the maze. You guys first."
Now, I'm actually interested in this idea. Would you be somebody that enters the maze? Because they essentially faction.
They do.
They go, we're going to stay, we're going to leave. What do you reckon?
Well, here's the stakes. The maze gates are open at night. That's the vibe, right? That's what's happening. Again, if I'm in this maze, 4 days of Dylan O'Brien. I think the gate's opening, that's my issue. But really, I really want to stick with Will. He knows his stuff, you know? He's a bit brute, but he's fair.
Okay, well, let's just jump ahead. They all escape.
Yeah.
Some of them die.
Yes.
Your main ones
All
are
the
there.
main ones survive. I'd say 30 of the sacrifices die. On this like bridge thing in the maze. Yeah.
Weird, they're like, we've got to push them down. And it's like, they're climbing back up, guys. You got to think of something else.
They have like a bunch of sticks. I've never seen people get. And credit to the film.
Not sharp sticks.
They kill. Oh, they're blunt as hell.
They're pushing sticks.
Yeah.
They're like ones that you would push
For a
chips over on a poker table.
Or like a curling, you know? That's like a curling pusher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a little brush, if you will.
Yeah, they might as well simply have brooms.
Brooms against a terrifying.
Brooms are going to do nothing. Maybe if they had a mop or two.
They can mop up the goddamn mess in this
Absolutely,
maze.
they
Because
could.
this maze is pretty dirty.
They get out. They enter a facility.
Yes.
Everybody's dead.
Yes.
The lead person killed themselves.
Yes.
Explains to them that they're part of an experiment.
She drops. At this point, it's crazy with her last breath. She's like, I've got 2 minutes of exposition. Let's go nuts.
Assumed this actress simply just killed herself on screen after having to deliver such a ludicrous monologue. She just went, and
She's a
that's
great
the
actress.
end of my career.
She's the mum in
She's in lots of things.
She's
She's
so
great.
good. She's so good.
Yeah.
Upsetting she has to be in this.
Yeah.
A good paycheck.
I know. I love seeing them get a paycheck.
Yeah.
I just love somebody getting a paycheck. I love it. Yeah. So they explained that not only did the world turn against them and
Yes.
scorch the earth.
She has a monologue. She had not a monologue. Sorry, like a stock footage. Who edited this film? Who edited this this show reel of what's going on?
She was there being like, "You editing this in? I'm gonna fucking kill myself here."
You got Premiere Pro open? Cool. Just look up stock footage of World Dead.
Just iMovie.
Okay.
Canva.
Can you use the fun sound effects? Oh, I love this. I love it. There's like 6 musical cues and they're all gold.
Anyway, so this is the until this
We should also say, like, for context of the podcast, both Carl and I have a handgun.
Yeah, we're doing pretend handguns.
We're both
We've got them
handgunning,
to our
trying
head.
to kill ourselves. Like, no, I've got a bit. Let me put the gun down for a second, and then back to
I'm waving my hand around recklessly like it's a gun.
I've
for
got the
some
safety
reason.
off on this gun.
Oh
Okay,
my god!
I don't
My
want to.
thumb is triggered and ready to be pushed.
Oh, I'm gonna go postal, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Also, we're doing 2-finger guns. None of this 1-finger gun shit.
No, we've got a double barrel. What's that? Like a Glock? I
Sorry?
guess we're gonna do a Glock. Why do we do?
You know,
two?
you were cool if you did the 2 fingers.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. Why one? One doesn't have the power.
If you do one, it's more of a boo.
like
But
a
if you do a
picture.
2-finger, it's
Bang!
more of a bang.
That's a 50 caliber finger
Absolutely,
right there.
huh? This is like hands really are the most powerful thing.
Oh wow, but you have to remember the pen, and you can't forget the sword.
No.
And who could forget the gun?
Mazes are mightier than the sword. Why? Life's a puzzle.
Oh, life's a goddamn.
Look
puzzle.
around once in a while, otherwise you might miss it.
Dylan O'Brien looks to and then she kills herself.
Yeah. she goes, "You guys have finished the experiment. Here is a tight 90-minute film made by a great filmmaker. Plays Ferris Bueller's Day Off. When it's done, she goes, kills herself, and they're just like, our treat was a movie."
I love that. Maybe like a dead body, then it comes back. It's like, you guys are still here. Little Easter egg, huh? At the end of the movie. No.
They wait through the credits.
They wait for the credits of a suicide.
We have to watch. If she had gone and Ferris Bueller's Day Off plays, and we have to watch these boys comprehend the idea of a film.
Oh yeah, they've not learned about editing or like that. How it's like a train coming towards them. I'm like, oh my god, did that happen in real life?
Absolutely.
How much do they remember?
They're like, did Cameron
Cameron
get away with it? What did his dad think of that car
Will
wreckage?
Poulter comes in, starts punching everyone. They go, oh, of course. No, I have seen this film. It's good. I like it. Matthew Broderick.
In the head, they only remember other John Hughes movies, though.
16 Candles. Yeah, no. Breakfast Club. Bang. Yeah.
He also wrote Home Alone. Uncle Buck. Home Alone 3 as well.
Will Poulter has, in fairness though, in their brains, Will Poulter's punching them and they're coming up with an amazing script. They have no concept of there is a film, but they just got a great idea. They're like, oh, what if Kevin McAllister was Home Alone?
They all become screenwriters. The movie becomes so Kaufman.
That's right. It was a scorched trial of your pursuit of happiness. That's right. We're doing Kaufman movies now.
Okay, so this is one of the most hilarious things to me is they explain the Earth got scorched and it killed most people, and then on top of that, zombies emerged. And then it meant some young people were immune and they needed to be studied in high intensive situations. So we put them in a maze and studied their brain activity as to why they could beat the mutation, and now they're here.
Yes.
Lunacy.
This is insane. And I don't think it's a payoff. You have more questions, and normally in a film, I don't know. I feel like I didn't get any answers. Like normally you'd be like, oh, like I've got some answers, but now I have more questions. This one has just given me questions for 98 minutes.
It's crazy too because the movie starts to end, and then they kill Chuck.
Yeah,
and it's great.
It's pretty riveting. However, so Will Poulter comes in. He's got a gun. He's like, listen, guys.
He's stung. I don't know how he got there.
I don't know. He jogged He jogged? I don't know.
No, he's not a maze runner.
Oh, of course. Oh, then how the hell? Because the whole thing closes. I don't know how Will Poulter got here. Anyway, he's got a gun and he's going to shoot them. His whole thing is like, guys, please come back to the maze. It's much better. And you know what? He's right.
We could have had a beautiful life together. All of us. We could have lived so much. Mino, I would have been a beautiful wife to you.
He goes to shoot Dylan, I guess, but someone smacks him in the head and he shoots Chuck. Carl?
No, Mino spears him.
Oh, he does spear him. That's
spectacular.
Right.
Do you know why? Because Mino's the best fucking character.
Mino's great. He's like, you're going to kill Dylan? Don't you dare. Go for Chuck. Spears him. Bang.
Mino's maybe the best human being that ever is or was. Maybe I understand why people like the Maze Runner now. I think that 62% of Rotten Tomatoes is all Mino.
Yeah, you got another 38% that's Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
But don't worry, Chuck perishes.
Chuck's out of here. I gotta tell you right now, the whole series pivots and revolves around Chuck.
Yeah, fuck off.
He's alive immediately at the beginning of the next movie. He goes, I must find my parents.
No.
And him and Will Poulter both live, and they create a beautiful bromance.
I don't know if you're
and
joking.
Then they Thelma and Louise the rest of the movie.
That sounds like right. I don't have anything
It's
to back
exactly what happens.
Dylan O'Brien gives such a performance here. It's almost like he knows that the audience hates Chuck. He goes overboard. He's like wailing. He's been taken away by like security detail. He is thrashing to save Chuck. It's been 3 days. All he knows about him is that he shat himself 3 times when he woke up from the maze. I don't know why he loves him. To the fact that I think it's a bit. I think he's performing, you know? I think it's performative.
I think the thing is I don't think this intensive reaction suits the movie. But it comes across to me like Dylan O'Brien had not been asked to do such an emotional scene before and was like, I'm just going to give it my all.
Yeah.
But it didn't suit what is going on.
It's Chuck.
Yeah.
Why this reaction? At this point, he's sort of looking around at all the other people like, hey, I really got on with Chuck, so, I'm kind of a good person.
They then all get escorted away into a helicopter, and somebody just says the maze was only the beginning, and it ends.
God, I cannot believe that.
I slow clapped, and then saluted the movie. Then I shut my laptop, and I forgot I ever saw it.
It is gone from my brain.
One ear,
it was disappearing.
out the other.
It was disappearing. I couldn't believe it.
It was. I couldn't remember what we were reviewing today, frankly. But then when I found out it was the Maze Runner, shit! The goddamn Maze Runner? Hells yeah, alright. That is great. I cannot wait for Scorched Trials. Beam me up another goddamn sequel. Give me 40 of these. I don't give a shit. Maze Runner, man.
Carl, who would watch The Maze Runner?
The Maze Runner, to me, is the type of movie Netflix would make now.
Wow, yes.
But slightly worse.
Yeah, I can imagine
so
that.
if you switched this on, so say this came out yesterday, and you switched this on, you were like, Netflix has made a new YA film
thing,
yeah. I think you'd watch it
10 episodes,
and you'd go, this is pleasant. So I think this is for people.
So you think it's before its time, but when you say before its time, it's like a mediocre before its time.
Absolutely.
Like it should have been now, but it would have been forgotten.
You know how you talk to your parents and you're like, oh God, we watched Ghost the other day and it was incredible. And they were like, really? Ghost is trash. And you're like, wow, I guess your trash is a treasure now. This movie, 40 years time, a classic. Probably be in the IMDb top 250.
I say the Letterboxd 250, just right under Come See.
Absolutely. Did you say come see?
Yeah, come and see, bitch.
It's so disrespectful.
Oh,
to such a beautiful film.
Yeah, I mean the Maze Runner.
I've
Sorry,
never seen it.
It'd be above it.
Yeah. So I think this is lazy Sunday Netflix turn your brain off viewing, and I think it is mid-tier YA adaptation.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I think if we had to sort of, I don't know, focus on this, I would have loved to not focus on this. I think it's a film designed to be unfocused. Kind of watch it with your glasses off.
It's actually made to take notes on.
Yeah. Oh, really?
It's well, every time I wrote a note, I didn't miss a thing. So
yeah, I will be. It's very kind to us as the people that are writing notes.
Absolutely.
I looked up, I was like, well, this is going to happen, and it happened.
The director was like, "This is perfect for podcasts." They will need to have to take notes during it. That's how it is.
There's a weird beat, like an anti-laugh track, where it's just like, here's your note-taking time.
Chuck, no!
We'll sit in that for a bit, huh?
Sit on that. Watch Will Poulter's life leave his eyes a little.
I guess it's fun to see these actors doing well. I'm glad with everyone that sort of got away with kind of putting in, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a good promotion. It's a good thing of putting a CV.
Crazy how many like young actors who were good attach themselves to these projects. Because Divergent had like a great young cast. Miles Teller, Shailene Woodley, Ansel Elgort, Theo James.
But surely you're seeing like what's happened to Jennifer Lawrence and going,
that's right.
Holy shit.
Well,
and you know what, for most of them, it kind of did work.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's forgettable enough that you'd be like, oh yeah, that will just raise it up. I think for this film, the director, everyone involved, just like, look, we can do a big blockbuster film. And the studio's like, great, cool, good on you. I like it's a good CV movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I was shocked.
I think that is the most impressive thing, right? A $30 million budget. Like, it's bland, but fuck, like, congratulations. It's technically a film.
Absolutely.
It's the most bare, but it's like the most by the books film, but it should be like, you could see this being like $120 million. Like, why spend that much money? 30 million? Fuck it. Good job,
absolutely. You. Like, if it's not like so good looking that you would think it cost over $100 million. It's just such of a time that if it cost $100 million, you'd just be like, okay, sure.
Yeah. I feel like that's what those Netflix movies, that's the difference though.
That is.
Like now
this is a visually better looking movie than Red Notice, and Red Notice, it was like a $200 million film.
Yeah.
So
I feel like it's like made by a director that knows, and I think everyone involved was like, we know what we're working with. We're going to make this as good as it can be.
Yeah.
Like, good on them.
Yeah.
And you know, there's the whole thing's made like $1 billion. Like, it's $1 billion franchise, technically.
Well, I mean, the logs on this on Letterboxd are nearly 1 million.
Yeah.
Nearly 1 million watches for The Maze Runner.
I watched with my partner, and she was also very much like, this is good. And then when you watch it, went, oh, no, it's not. I think it's very much we all watched it because I guess the Hunger Games was crazy and you just wanted it more.
Yeah.
And it was like, this will do. You know, we just love a bit of dystopia.
Crazy they just sort of nailed the Hunger Games, right? I guess it does come down to the material.
I think so.
Like, because the Divergent and this are just not good material.
No, and I think that third Hunger Games book, like the movie, just sort of goes,
yeah, it's not good material either.
It's hard to
But the first two are really strong material.
Yeah.
Oscar, what are we reviewing next week?
Carl, we have got no other movie. Guess what? askwwwtpodcast@gmail.com. Please email us a movie to do. We are scraping the barrel. We don't know what we're doing. We're scared, we're lonely, we're naked, and we're in a maze. That's right. Maze Runner 2, maybe. Nah. Let's recommend it's a movie, huh?
The Scorch? The maze was just the beginning. This podcast was just the beginning. They are the cure. Good night.
Good night.
Wicked is good.